Automobilista 2 has just received, as of a couple of hours ago, another update, bringing it from version 1.3.2.0 to version 1.6.3.4 billion RJ45 cable. Reza do love to update their driving simulators. It's mental how many updates this simulator has received. In this update, we get not only camera improvements, camera setting edition improvements. Who doesn't like camera changes? I certainly do. But we also get car improvements, physics improvements, and most importantly, we get a road in America. The Road America. And that is what I'm going to be checking out in this video, because Road America is one of the best racetracks in the world. But not quite as good as Alton Park, but that's already in the sim, so it doesn't matter. If you enjoy our content and want to support the channel, make sure to use the Gamer Muscle Fanatec affiliate link located under the video when buying fancy pants sim racing equipment from the Fanatec store. So I'm here at the track all set up and ready. We do have some new cars in the sim, but I want to check them out another time. I want to do some proper racing with subscribers with them. For this, to check out the actual track and what the track's like to drive and how well Reza have executed the road in America, we're just going for a nice little mosey in the Ginetta G55 GT4 car, which in my opinion is probably one of the best cars if you just want to jump in and drive and not have something too hard. Just a nice little time driving a nice race car. It's fastish but not too fast. It's progressive. It does what you expect. It's just a nice chill drive. So let's get going. Let's just check the setup here. We've got this all set up. Oh, incidentally, in the update they have changed what's available on the quick setup changes. You can change some of the tyre, front and rear tyre, rather than just an overall tyre setting. They have actually changed some layouts of things and some other UI elements. There's a whole bunch of little bits of polish here and there. I would highly recommend every time they do an update to Automobilista 2 that you check the release notes so you don't miss anything out. I think we've got enough fuel. We do. Yes, we do. Let's get driving here. See how this goes. Now I am using the default plus force feedback, the in-game force feedback. I don't think you need to use any custom force feedback for Automobilista 2 anymore. The in-game default plus feels absolutely fantastic. Automobilista 2 actually has great force feedback. You can really feel what the cars are doing. You can feel the loading up of the car. You can feel the tyre carcass wiggling and wobbling. You can feel the vibration. I think the force feedback's pretty great in Automobilista 2, and it's only got better as they improve the physics. Like the force feedback just reflects the handling of the cars, which is what it should do. Happy times. It's a nice drive. Look at this, Road America. We've got the weather set to summer. If you load up again by default, it'll have the current day's weather, and the winter trees and the winter stuff in Automobilista 2 looks like you're in some kind of like Alton Towers for those of you in the UK, the haunted house, or like Disneyland haunted house for those of you not in the UK. The winter trees are a little bit miserable and a little bit post-nuclear. So I've set it to summer because I think that's how I've experienced this track in all the other simulators. And look at this, it is absolutely stunning. I think no one could disagree with this, that Automobilista 2 is perhaps one of the nicest looking simulators currently available. Not just in terms of it having that fidelity there, the lighting, the shadows, but the actual track models are particularly nice. But then it all runs really, really well. If you also you've got all the day-night transitions, you've got the fog, the rain, and everything. Again, it looks superb and it runs really well. Technically, I think you could probably argue that Assetto Corsa Competizione has more advanced shaders, but it runs like a toddler on all fours. It's you know, this delivers the graphics with the performance. Incidentally, I'm actually running this on 3 55-inch LG OLED screens, a budget simulator setup that most people could start out with, and I'm using G-Sync limiting the frame rate to 114 FPS. I'll have to do some G-Sync videos in the future explaining how we set this all up. It was a bit of an effort to get G-Sync working with everything and get it to work as flawlessly as possible. But with it set up with G-Sync, we no stutter, completely fluid. I mean, you're watching a video capture pointing at my monitors. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the AI here, trying to battle here. So the track layout, absolutely superb. I'm noticing some of the side railing details and the fencing is particularly detailed on this version. Loving the grass. I've actually turned the grass details up because, to be honest, I would turn the shadows down. As you can see, my shadows are a little bit down there. We've got a bit of jaggies on those shadows, but I will compromise shadows for high quality grass. My life revolves around pristine grass, and the grass on Road America is pretty pristine, and it's probably one of the reasons why I think Road America is one of the top racetracks. Let's just hit him, why not? But I've driven Road America. Oh, you can even see the lawnmower lines. What more could you want from a racing sim? I've driven Road America, obviously, quite a bit because it's a good track, but we play it a lot in Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa, and we play it quite a lot in iRacing. iRacing runs it all the time for some reason, probably because it's a good track. Dive bomb coming through. I'm a rich kid. Doesn't matter if my Ginetta has a few dents in it. And I say the actual layout of this seems very, very similar to the iRacing laser scan, but there is a few differences. I'll talk about when we actually get to the corner, which feels slightly different to me from the iRacing laser scan. But where this actually is really nice though is that the actual road texture, and as I say, the side details, to me, this feels more authentic in many ways. So the general side details and the environment, track texture, the visual fidelity of it feels more like a real location than the iRacing scan. The undulations and everything to me seem very convincing, very similar. Like I'm braking where I'd brake. Well, obviously there's physics differences in this to iRacing, but the line's exactly the same basically. I'm having to relearn the track. It's very close to the iRacing laser scan. Look at the buildings and everything, absolutely gorgeous. But I would say, for some reason, to me, and I don't know if it's maybe because there's more stuff in the environment, so that affects how you perceive scale of things. But to me, T1 and T2, for some reason, feel slightly different in AMS2 compared to iRacing. Like it feels a little bit steeper. This going down there, the dip, and then into right-hander, and the corners feel a little bit, slightly bit more compressed. As again, I think that might just be environmental settings, and it's quite possible that my field of view settings are a little bit different from the two simulators. I'm always fiddling with my field of view. I do use a calculator, well, not a calculator, but I do set things up mathematically correct for field of view initially, but then I often just tweak and move things around depending on how my motion sickness is going. If we've done a 14-hour live stream and I have a migraine, I often just fiddle with things, or if I just feel like it, because I sim race for fun. I don't care if it's mathematically correct. I'll do whatever's most comfortable at the time or whatever I feel like. That's the joy of sim racing. Look at those trees in the distance. This is what I love here. Look, you've got the little telephone mast beaming 5G into everyone's faces. Oh no! I can't say that. I forgot. AMS2 has like all the 5G conspiracy people is part of its fanboys. Oh, I've upset the fanboys again. Oh no. In the distance though, this is really nice with AMS2. The environmental model, like the outside of what you've got on the track, which is nice and detailed, that hill going up there to the side, the trees into the distance, and the 5G mobile phone mast, of course causing everyone tons of problems, as we all know that 5G does. Actually, in America it does, because they licensed a higher frequency, or a specific frequency that interferes with aircraft, supposedly. Not in Europe, because in Europe they licensed the frequencies that don't affect aircraft, but someone made some money in America, or someone made a whoopsie. But look, there it is. Look at the phone mast. Don't know if you can see that on the video, but that's nice. It's all like you really feel like you're at a venue. Another thing that adds to that sense of being at a venue is the marshals at the side of the track just looking at you. They're all 3D animated. I know it's graphics, I know it's not the most important thing, but when you've got a lot of details going on, it saturates your brain, which then makes, bizarrely, the driving and the focus on the driving feel a little bit more realistic in a strange way. Hello, there's Ted and Bob. And one of the things, if you drive a real car, all the like noise, all the stuff, all the detail in real life, like weird things happen in real life. Like, I don't know, like you have birds flying past dropping stones on you. All these little things all go... I didn't even make that up, that's true. You can see that on my video driving the Toyota. All these little things add up to what makes things like real life. Is just mental. And so more details in this sim is great. But look at this, is just fantastic. I do have the AI on like 92 or something. I find for me, if you want the AI set to a decent setting in Automobilista 2, for like a newbie sim racer, 70 would be good. For like moderately average sim racer, 90 is probably good. And then for people that would be, I don't know, if you played iRacing or whatever, you'd be sort of 2000 iRating, 2400 iRating, which is where I'm normally at. Then you're sort of talking about, if you want a good challenge, 90, 95 to 98 is a good setting. I put my noob setting for these videos because I'm talking and driving, distracted driving. Don't talk and drive, guys, it's bad. The AI are doing great on it, just driving around. It's one of the really key things with Automobilista 2 is if you wanted a really good single-player sim that's got a bunch of stuff in it, and you can play it offline, or you can play it with friends, and you can play with friends with AI, and you can host games quickly, this is where AMS2 really, really shines. It's not particularly still, even with where it is now, it's not massively active online. Though it has actually, since the update from just before Christmas, has improved massively within online popularity. But it doesn't have like a proper matchmaking ranking system. It has basic ranking, but not a proper system. It's more about racing offline with AI, or racing with friends, or doing ad hoc lobbies and stuff. That's what I love using it for, and that's what we tend to spend a lot of our time doing with it. But you'll have a great time with this now. The update before Christmas really addressed the massive handling issues it had with the brakes being crazy, locking up, the not having enough lift-off oversteer. Now the cars drive like cars, and each update that follows it, like this update, what you're really noticing is just the additional polish in the car, the content that's already in the game, and the sort of quality of life stuff that I think, as things go on, it just means that someone coming to the game for the first time will just have a really nice time with it. It will just feel like a super polished title. And the detractors will be like, well, why didn't it release like that? Hello, this guy's, look at that. He's not giving that up. I've got aggression on like 40, I think. That was fantastic. Look, the AI didn't just back off there. He should have, because now I'm just going to ram into him. Great, that was really nice, clean, but very realistic defensive driving from the AI. Yeah, the detractors would be like, oh, well, why did it come out like this? But, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it, if all games came out perfectly polished? But the main thing is, Reza keep polishing. They keep polishing. They've got a cupboard full of polish. Oh, this was why I had faith. Although you shouldn't have faith in developers, but this is why I had faith in Reza. Partly because they have access to beautiful Brazilian beach models, so that's one reason. But you can see what they did with Automobilista 1, and just they have that passion. They have that development passion. Another developer that's similar in my mind is like the guys developing Hell Let Loose. It started off with issues, but it had that golden nugget there at the start, and it's just been polished. This is very much the same. And I do think with one of the unfortunate things with Automobilista 2 is because it's got a lot of cars and they kind of just put stuff in it. The content's a little bit all over the place. There's some cars in it, like this Ginetta, drives fantastic. I'd say there's probably like 10 or so cars in it that are perfectly fine, really fun to drive, feel really balanced, feel convincing. Like, they don't have big physics holes in them. But then there's a whole bunch of cars that do weird, like feel like they're tripping over themselves and, you know, just seem a bit bizarre. So, unfortunately, it's definitely still in that state where some content's better than other content. But crucially, like with this update that's just come out now, and every time you see an update, you'll see where they've adjusted sort of like tyre parameters, general car parameters. You gradually start seeing more and more cars added to the list of stuff that's genuinely a pleasant drive. And with the sheer amount of content in here, we're going to have a good amount of vehicles to play with if you buy this game. This car's so nimble, so nice, just does what you expect it to. You know, it's not. They put like 13-year-olds in these cars in real life, so it's supposed to be very forgiving, very pliable. This right-hander Road America is a proper tyre burner, and a really good, actually, good test of driving sims in the sense of how many lines can you take through that corner, how many lines are productive, or does the sim with certain cars encourage you to give it more throttle and less steering, or more steering and less throttle, and can you balance that, and can you feel where you should balance it through that corner? It's a really nice corner. And on this version of the track, you can see the track mesh is actually pretty high resolution. One of the differences between this and iRacing, for example, is the iRacing Road America, I think, is quite old now. And when you look at the edges of the road surface on the iRacing Road America, it's almost like you can see the polygons of where the like the actual track edge, the lines, like straight line. Like it's not as high resolution as this in terms of the edge of the mesh. So everything looks very natural and smooth with this version of the track. I'm not carrying the speed through here. The first two corners on this track is all about lining up just right and then smoothly carrying the speed, maintaining the throttle through the corner, getting it just right. Sometimes mowing the lawn a little bit with the inside wheels. Another thing with Automobilista 2, so this is over like say Assetto Corsa, those first right-handers, some of the cars in Assetto Corsa, you put your wheels on the curves on those right-handers and the cars can spin round. AMS2 doesn't seem to have any problems with that, to be honest. I think it does have a little bit of the grass sucking you off the track at times, but you know, you don't expect putting your wheels on grass to be perfectly smooth. I would actually personally say I think iRacing probably has the best suspension and probably has the best general grip on curbing, but then iRacing suffers from a situation of when the wheels go over the limit, it goes mental, and sometimes if you bop the suspension, it pops the car over the limit, and in other sims you could just catch the car if that happens, but in iRacing you've gone over the limit, so you're screwed. Every sim has its own little quirks for you to enjoy and suffer from. Let's get in there. Flying through. Bit of understeer through that. It's all good though. Really nice diffuse shadow under the car, as well as the one that's actually generated by the dynamic light. I should have probably put this on at a more dramatic time of day. This is not photographer's happy hour. This is just like midday America, but this allows us to admire the details nice and clearly, so it's okay. Whoa, little bit snagging on the brake. Oh, the downhill left-hander, I would say, definitely quite tricky in Automobilista 2. The brakes can be a little bit snaggy. You can reduce brake pressure, and crucially now, if you do snag the brakes in AMS2, if you come off the brake quickly, if you're quick with your steering, you can often get away with it. Again, that's something that's lacking in iRacing. AC does a good job of that. R-Factor 2 is iffy. Race Room does a good job of it, but it's something that's genuinely, generally improved with each update in AMS2. The snaggy brake thing, you know, when you're braking for a long time and then all of a sudden the tyres just give out, that has gradually improved bit by bit in Automobilista 2. But, you know, all told, in terms of Road America in AMS2 and version 1.3.3.0, things are looking nice. Things are looking good. I have to say, nice job by Reza. And I would say Automobilista 2 is well worth owning. It's put it on that sim. It's, you know, it's one of those sims that I think gets ignored by wider sim racing. It's the same with Race Room. It's like people ignore it. It's like there's bloody good content in there. It's bloody good fun to drive, and it ticks its own boxes, which are really good. Specifically with AMS2, you want to race with friends or you want to create a quick lobby, you just want to have a bloody good time. AMS2 delivers that. It does deliver. But yeah, so look at a little hut on the top. I never noticed that before. Like little things there. Oh, Reza, if you're listening, make this instantaneous. Don't have it be slow. I have to do more testing with subscribers. You know, actually doing more racing with subscribers, testing more stuff out before we can be more harsher. Let's say hi to Simon and Tom there. Hello. So we'll be doing some racing with subscribers. Make sure to follow us on our Twitch channel, Game of Muscle. Make sure to follow us on Twitter as well. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. You can click the dislike button, but YouTube have ruined that. why they removed it? Bloody YouTube. I know why they removed it. Everyone knows why they removed it. It's because people complained when they're advertised to and they don't like the content, and YouTube don't want people to know. But, you know, you can still click it, and I can see dislikes, so click it. Click away. Till the next one. Happy tea drinking. Thanks for watching. And goodbye, everyone.